All right, we now welcome on another special guest. He's a 17-year-old homegrown for the Seattle Sounders, and it is Danny Leyva. Danny, thanks for coming on today and joining us.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Will, for having me on here. Really happy to be on here and just talk about my career and everything else. So really happy to
Yeah,
be on here.
we're excited to have you. So before we start, we usually start with some quick hitter questions, just 1 or 2 word answers, or answer as quickly as you can, right?
All right.
All right. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Seattle, Vegas, or Chicago? Which one do you prefer living in the most?
Seattle.
Favorite position to play?
Center defensive mid.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Who do you have winning March Madness this year for basketball?
Baylor.
Who's your favorite musical artist?
I'd have to go with Drake on this one.
What is your go-to pregame meal?
Some fettuccine alfredo, some pasta usually.
It's a good choice. What's your favorite subject in school?
Definitely not math, so anything other than that.
Everything but math. I love it. Last one. And what is your go-to favorite vacation spot or favorite vacation you've been on?
I would say Mexico. I went to Mexico to finish visit my family over there.
What part of Mexico are they from?
Yeah.
Mexico City.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I just had Mexican food for dinner tonight. I got some Mexican takeout. It was fire. So good.
Mexican food is the best, man.
It really is. That is like probably my favorite. It's like that or Chinese food, I'll say. Those are like my 2 favorite traditional American meals.
Yo, so Danny, for March Madness, did you guys have like a big pool at the Sounders of like your brackets or anything like that?
Yeah, they usually do like every time March Madness is on, everyone fills in their brackets and kind of put like money on it, and whoever gets the most points in the brackets, they get all the money. So
yeah, how are you? What's your standing like? I bet a lot of brackets were probably busted after the first like 2 days.
A bunch of my brackets are busted, so I'm doing well though, better than some of the other guys. But.
Yeah, did you call any of the upsets, like the big ones, like the Oral Roberts or anything?
Nah, I didn't call Oral Roberts. Oh man, I was surprised on that one.
Bro, my bracket is beyond busted. I think I'm in second to last place, but I got like the least amount of points possible remaining, so I'm done. I got no chance.
I think after day 2, 3 of my 4 Final Four teams were out because I had Ohio State, I had Texas, and then I forget who else.
Probably Illinois.
Illinois, yeah, exactly. Those 3 right there. So it's kind of sucks. But enough of that. Danny, can you kind of take us through your career so far? Because like I don't know, in the one question Will said, like Seattle, Vegas, Chicago, you've been all over. Can you kind of just give us like a little run through of your career so far?
Yeah, definitely. I started playing. Well, I'm originally from Las Vegas. That's where I grew up pretty much my whole life. I'd say till I was 14 years old before I moved to Seattle. So I started playing over there soccer. I started playing when I was 3 years old. My family's kind of a big soccer family. My dad played in Mexico. My mom was a big soccer fan. My sister plays. So I started playing when I was 3 years old over there for a club called Barcelona, Nevada. It's kind of the team I played for the most. And when I was playing ODP, I don't know if you guys know that. It's like a state team. So I played ODP, and that's where I got scouted from Seattle. And yeah, they invited me to trial when I was 14, and that's where I got to stay over here. I did well on the trial, and I moved over here to Seattle to play for the academy. And that's kind of where my journey started. So.
Awesome. Wait, did you ever live in Chicago?
No.
What the hell? I swear to God, I read that on like your Wikipedia or something.
Bro, you can't trust Wikipedia, Will.
It says you were born and raised in Chicago, Illinois.
Bro, someone probably changed that.
Yeah,
what the hell?
Someone used to get fired.
Yeah, I was like Chicago. I'm like,
yeah. We need to.
I thought I did something. I was like, because it says born and raised. I thought you went from Chicago, then you moved to Vegas, and then Seattle.
We need to speak to our research interns.
Yeah, myself, ourselves. No, Wiki needs an update. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wikipedia, man.
So now you are in Seattle, and your family does not live there, correct?
Yeah, correct. They're back in Vegas.
Yeah, so Nico, who helped set this up, shout out to him. He said he was going to be listening, so shout out to him. Said that you just spent some time with your family this past weekend, and I guess last week as well. Is it kind of hard for you to be away from your family at such a young age, and like what does that kind of adaptation been like?
Yeah, obviously it's like a big sacrifice I had to make when I was young, and obviously being away from them, I think since I was 14 is definitely a big hit. Being up here in Seattle alone, you kind of miss your family a lot. But I think I always wanted to be a professional soccer player, and that's kind of the thing that helped me get over that. Being not being with them, just being on the field and working hard there, focusing on that goal is kind of what helped me. But I obviously do miss them a lot. Throughout the years, we've visited each other a lot. They come up to Seattle sometimes, and then on the off season, I go back to Vegas. So we kind of spend a lot of good time together when we're together. The few months that we're together, so yeah, I definitely miss them, and obviously it's a big sacrifice that I had to make when I was young. Yeah, still to this day, it's another big sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice you gotta be willing to make. I'm curious, like, what was it like growing up in Vegas? I feel like you don't really meet. Personally, don't think I've met many people that grew up in Vegas. Like, it's just like such a popular like destination to go to, though. So, like, what was that like?
It was good, man. The weather was definitely different compared up to Seattle. I mean, it was always hot in Vegas. And the thing is, like, when you're in Vegas, you don't really go to the strip that much, just to the casinos. So it's kind of not the life that people imagine of, but it was good growing up in Vegas. I had a lot of my friends there. Soccer is really big over there, so we have a really big soccer culture over there, and I put a lot of attention into that. So I enjoyed it.
What's the closest MLS team to Vegas? Because I'm trying to think of like where your parents can kind of come see you play that's close to there.
Galaxy probably in LA, and then they have a USL team. They have the Lights.
Yeah.
Quincy Amarikwa plays there, Chuck, or he used to. I don't know if he's still under contract.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if like Vegas will get an MLS team because the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders just moved to Vegas. They have the hockey team. So it seems like the market is there, but I don't know.
Yeah,
especially if you say it's like a big soccer culture there too. I feel like it would be like the natural progression.
Oh yeah. I bet there'd be a lot of fans probably going to the games if they do get a team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, up in Seattle, you guys got a lot of fans. What's the cult like? Is it up in like the Pacific, like Northwest? Is like soccer just like the main sport there? Like I know like the Seahawks are pretty big, but
Seahawks got the best fans in the league, or at least they did at one point. Maybe the Chiefs. I don't know. That stadium's insane.
Yeah, stadium's sick over here, CenturyLink.
Yeah. But like, what's the soccer culture like up there? Like, is it the most popular sport? Would you say? Like, is that what everybody like really cares about, or is it working its way up there?
I think it's kind of soccer and football. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I came up here, I was surprised because like I would like when you come up here, you think, oh, they're gonna be like a bunch of supporters for football and like for soccer it won't be that much, but they actually put a lot of attention to the soccer team and to the Sounders. Like they almost fill up CenturyLink for pretty much every game.
Yeah,
so
that's a big stadium too.
Yeah, for them to fill up CenturyLink almost every game is outstanding, and yeah, the support here is really big. That's what I was really surprised, and that's what I loved about Seattle too.
What was your reaction the first time you played like a home game there with that crowd? Were you like kind of shitting your pants a little bit, or was it just like you kind of blurred it all out?
Bro, definitely. I was so nervous, man. The first game, I think I went in as a sub, bro, and the whole CenturyLink was like, cool, man. It was definitely a nervous moment, but once you got on the field, you kind of block all that out. So
I can only imagine, man. That's insane. Because
Yeah.
I went to a Atlanta United game like in the playoffs, I think 2 years ago, and it was a sellout. And I was in the stands, and I was like, "Damn, this atmosphere is crazy." But I can't imagine like being on the field and having it all like coming down, like all the noise coming towards you.
yeah,
Must be incredible.
It's a crazy atmosphere.
Yeah, damn. I can't even imagine. But yeah, so I mean, I guess Seattle is where then. So like, who? Seattle's biggest rival is the Timbers, right?
Yeah, the Timbers.
What are those like? What are those games like? Do they get pretty crazy?
Bro, those games get aggressive. Yeah, it's definitely like a game.
Is it like that throughout like the whole like the youth ranks as well too?
Yeah, throughout the youth ranks, it gets pretty heated too. Like they always teach us like Portland's our rival, and no matter what, it's a must-win game. And yeah, it gets really physical, and dude, it's a really good game to play in. I'd say that. Yeah.
Have you had any like? Because obviously there's a lot of fans. Have you had any like crazy experiences with the fans, or just like seen anything in the stands like crazy or outside even?
I would say like the march to the games. That like when I first came out to Seattle, I did the march to the game, and it was insane, man. They like walk like 5 blocks to the games, and there's just a ton of people chanting. So that's one of the crazy experience. And then I think that along with like my first game, I think it was against Vancouver when I scored my first goal, and they like canceled it again, because of VAR. They checked VAR. Oh, there was a foul for it. Dude, when they were booing the ref, bro, it was the loudest I have ever heard that stadium, man.
Wow.
Dang.
That's crazy.
So you're now in preseason, and you said you're back healthy from your foot injury. What's like kind of like the vibe around the team right now in preseason, and what are some of the team goals for this upcoming MLS season?
Yeah, no, the vibe is definitely a good one. I think since everyone's back, obviously we had a big hit with Jordan. He got injured, and we're not gonna have him this year. But the vibe is good with the team. We're all very positive, looking forward for the year, and yeah, our goal again is to win another championship. Last year we made it to the final. We couldn't win it, sadly, but I think make it to the final again and winning it this time is our goal. So I think we can accomplish this as a team.
Yeah. So then for you personally, like what are some goals you got then going into the season? Because I mean, you had like it's pretty solid, like 2019, that was kind of like breakout. And then obviously like 2020 wasn't the best for just like COVID happened. And then unfortunately the injury in MLS's back. So, but going into 2021 now, like you're healthy, like what do you got on your mind going in?
Yeah, like you said, 2019 was a really good year for my first year, and then 2020 was kind of a bad year overall. I didn't play as much. So I think this year is just trying to get more minutes. Getting my first goal. I want my first goal, first assist, and I think just become a starter or having a bigger role on the team. That's kind of my goal for this year.
So,
dude, it sorry, Chuck. I just gotta say, it absolutely blows my mind that we're talking about your 2019 was your breakout year, and you're only 17 when we're talking to you right now. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Does that like come across your mind ever? You're like, damn, I'm 17 right now. Like,
yeah, sometimes I'm like still 17. I'm like, how?
You've done so much.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't even know what I was doing when I was 17.
I was a junior in high school.
Definitely not playing in front of 60,000 people. No. But so then I'm curious, as you as a player, what like would you say is like unique about your play style? Like, do you have anything unique like that you pay like a lot of attention to, whether it be like more defensive, attacking, like playing through balls or anything like that?
I would say I'm not like the most physical player, like the fastest, but I say like I read the game really well and my technical abilities really well. So I think as a midfielder, always thinking 3 steps ahead or knowing the pass before the ball comes to you. That's what I'm really good at. My positioning as well. So I think just reading the game and understanding the game, I'd say that's my best attribute. I just feel like my physical strengths aren't as good compared to the other guys I'm competing against. So I have to think quicker and be a lot quicker with my mind up here, So.
If you could compare yourself to like one huge player, like superstar, who would you kind of compare your play style to?
I would say my play style, I try to revolve it around like Iniesta or Xavi. I think those players are kind of my like idols and people that I look up to.
Not bad idols at all.
No.
Pretty good, huh?
But like I mean, Jordan's like a pretty big guy. Has he given you like any like tips on to just like in the gym and like
bulking up?
Just bulking up,
No, yeah, Jordan's super strong and fast, bro. So one can always use his tips on and off the field, and yeah, he also like was a big support to me when I was injured on how he got through his injury. So he's a good guy and always a good teammate for me, and always giving us advice for the young guys.
Yeah, no, he's it was super unfortunate what happened to him because it was so I was really excited to see him over in England.
Swansea, yeah, just when he got over there.
Yeah, very unfortunate timing. So obviously he's strong, but this is like kind of just like a super random question. I think Chuck wrote this down, but like who would you say benches the most at the Sounders? Who's got the highest max bench?
I'd say, I mean, back then I think it was Roman Torres, one of the biggest guys, and now it's Yeimar. I don't know if you know the Colombian center back. He's a monster, man.
I kind of remember seeing Torres, his FIFA card. He always had like 90 something physical, if I can remember correctly. He always had like a nutty FIFA card for physical.
He was huge.
This is just like a little funny story. I didn't even think of this when I wrote the question down. But like when I think of when I was in 8th grade going into high school, like over the summer, like we were doing like weight training, and I was pretty like small, and we were doing benching the one day, and I couldn't even lift the bar, like the 45-pound bar. I couldn't even do that. So I had to go get like 2 dumbbells and use like 15 pounds and just go like that. I did it for like a few weeks, and then I finally, I mean, I worked my way up, but I thought that was funny. Like,
What are you benching
Probably
now?
like
Like 250?
yeah,
250,
yeah,
man.
probably it's like 2 plates. It's only like 225. No.
Easy, man.
Yeah. So you guys are up in Seattle right now, like preseason. What's like you guys like, are you guys have any like friendlies coming up, or what's the schedule looking like for you guys?
Yeah, so right now we've just been training, but we're having like a couple of friendlies coming up. I think tomorrow we play our second team. We play Tacoma Defiance, and then I think next week we play Portland, and we might play San Diego Loyal. I think those are our 3 friendlies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Are
we're
those
starting to
are
go.
those some of those USL teams?
Yeah, San Diego's a USL team, and then our second team plays in the USL too. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Speaking of USL, okay, see now I'm like scared to like state these like facts here because they're from Wikipedia, but like is it true that you're the second youngest player to play in the USL?
I think so. Yeah, around there. I don't know if second or third, but yeah, I was the youngest.
How old were you when you made your debut for the USL team?
I was 15.
Wow. So what were you? Did you feel like you were ready to take that step to the USL at 15? Because like, I mean, dude, 15, I think a sophomore in high school. I can't even imagine doing that.
15, I was lifting 30 pounds on the bench. So
yeah.
No.
Yeah, at first it's kind of nervous because you don't know if you're going to be able to compete with the guys, but I think once you get on the field and you have the help of your teammates, it's much easier, and like you know and you feel the pressure of the game that you could just keep up with the guys. So obviously my strength is not physical, and like I said, I'm a technical player, so that kind of helps me read the game and just play a lot quicker, so that my physical attributes don't have to show out that much, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you must have been playing against people that were like literally twice your age, if not more than twice your age.
Grown men, man.
Yeah.
It was
That's
like
insane.
twice my size.
Was it weird? Like, did you feel like from the other teams they were like, oh, like we're playing against this like this kid? Like, do you think they would took you kind of lightly because of that, or?
I wouldn't, dude. I would think the opposite. I'd be like scared because
Yeah.
he's like 15 and he's playing with us. I'd be like, he's got to be dirty as hell.
I mean, they definitely, I think they played the same. They just try to go harder, and like I was younger, I guess they just try to go harder on me, you know?
Try to rattle you.
Yeah. Say, oh, that's the weak spot. We gotta get him.
Yeah. This might be also, this might be a stupid question, but like, how for you, like reading the game, how do you kind of like study the game? Like, how do you like improve? You know what I mean? Do you just watch a lot of like a lot of other games, or like your games that film of yourself? Like, how you're like, oh, I should have made that pass, or?
Yeah, it's a good question. Ever since I was little, I always liked watching a bunch of soccer games, and yeah, when I'm watching the games, I try not to follow the ball. I try to just look at the player in my position and see his movements and how he sees the game. And obviously now with all the technology you have like film of yourself. You have like every pass you make, it's on video. So
Yeah.
I go over that a lot. And yeah, sometimes it just helps me being on the field too and visualizing where I'm at on the field and what passes I can make, what positions I could be in. So I think it's all about visualization and just reviewing the film.
Yeah.
Watching.
Do you watch your film from every single training session?
Yeah, I usually do. Every time I come back home, I watch the film and see what I did good, see what I did bad, and try to improve it.
Did you have training today?
Yeah.
What was your takeaway from today's training session?
I thought it was,
if you
I thought it was
remember.
pretty good. I scored a goal. Today was kind of light since we have a game tomorrow, so we didn't really play that many games. It was kind of just like rondos, just reaction, and then 5v5s, and then set pieces. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in yourself? Like, are you looking at mistakes you made or just like missed opportunities?
Yeah, look at the mistakes I made, obviously, and then kind of like sometimes a lot of the plays are like off the ball, just where I could be a better option or where I could have got the ball. So yeah, definitely look at those the most.
Yeah. Right. Like who's a current player that you really like watching in your position?
Anywhere, any team?
Yeah, anywhere.
Okay. I'd say from Barca, I always like Busquets. but I like Frankie De Jong a lot, and then Pedri, Barca. So those two I really like watching.
Pedri's your age, right? Is he
Yeah,
17
Pedri,
still?
yeah.
Maybe 18? It's close.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
So you're a Barca fan. I mean, you got to be, right? You played for the Barca residency or Barca Academy.
No, I'm a Real Madrid fan.
What?
Really? Why is
You
your
just named
email?
that. You just
I'm a
named
Barca-
every single Barcelona midfielder from the last 20 years. You're a Real Madrid fan.
Of course, I'm a Barca fan.
Okay.
You got
Thank God.
okay. I was gonna say. I was like,
Damn.
wait, is this guy joking? Bro, he's funny. Will, he's funny. No.
Jesus Christ.
Barca
Man,
fans
you
are like
had a
that.
heart attack.
Yeah.
So kind of going back to like improving on your game. I asked like about specifically today, but like overall, what is one aspect of your game that you really want to improve on to kind of take your game to the next level as you get older?
Yeah, I think for me specifically, I think it's just improving my good qualities, but also I think my change of speed, the physical aspect, I think that's what I need to improve on a lot. I think just changing that speed from like going from slow to fast is like something really important, and I think I'm gonna work on improve that a lot this season.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
have a FIFA card?
Yes.
What's your pace?
I haven't
Oh,
checked.
come on, you know it.
Let me see. Let me see
No,
here.
no,
Let
no,
me see
no.
here. 56
search it.
overall.
Yeah, you gotta search
You
it
got a
out.
4-star weak foot, 2-star skills. Pace 59. Damn. Ugh, not great. They gotta up that. Would you say that's accurate, or you don't consider yourself fast, or are you like a quicker
I
player?
don't consider myself extremely fast, but I mean,
Quick.
yeah, I could do a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, we had
yeah.
Nathan Harriel had 78 pace. He wasn't happy with that, but I guess it's different for a center mid versus a fullback. Got to give the fullbacks more pace.
Yeah, they gotta be quick.
Yeah.
Especially in FIFA.
Yeah.
We'll get that rating up though. We'll get that
Yeah.
rating.
Yeah, you got a lot of time. A lot of time.
Yeah, we'll see some team of the weeks this year, hopefully, and then
Yeah.
we'll get a nice upgrade coming your way. But I'm kind of curious when you're recovering from your injury, like foot injuries, like obviously you can't be out up on your feet a lot. So what were some kind of lessons you learned? Because you obviously kind of like approach like your recovery with a different perspective, or like approach the game with a different perspective. Like what were some of the lessons you took away from that?
Yeah, obviously, I think overall from the injury, I think one of the biggest lessons was that like there's gonna be always some hard hits and some rough patches during your career, but you have to stay positive and always keep working hard and not giving up on your goal. 'Cause I think that was the most important during that time. It was just staying positive, giving it my all in rehab. And I think obviously, like you said, I was in a boot. I had to get surgery, so wasn't able to walk for like a couple of weeks before I could start doing rehab stuff and that. So I think once I was back, I was just grateful to be able to be on the field, touch a ball, run. I think it just like puts more value on the preparation aspect physically, and yeah, that's why I learned a lot to prepare myself better physically before I go on the field, and always taking care of my body as a professional. That's really important.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like mentally too, it's like you gotta stay positive throughout it, right?
Yeah, mentally too. You're like watching your teammates out there play and train. It's kind of like it's really tough, because you want to be out there with them. So you got to be mentally strong and just be patient.
Yeah.
All right, so kind of like switching topics now to your youth national team career with the United States. Kind of want to start out with the U17 World Cup because you were a regular starter, or you started all 3 games at that World Cup. In your opinion, why do you think that it did not click for you guys? Because you had such a talented team. When you look back at that roster, you had so many talented players, but it obviously didn't go the way you guys wanted to. What was kind of like the main reason why you think it didn't click for you guys?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, it didn't go the way we wanted, and obviously during the CONCACAF qualifiers, we were really good. We had a good team. We had a lot of good skillful players like Gio, Gianluca, and a couple other guys, Kobe. So I think there was a lot of factors that were involved, like for it going wrong. But I think just other teams play more like a team. We were kind of like not on the same page sometimes, and I think that's what really affected us. So yeah, I think there was a lot of factors in that, and it's not just like one thing. It's really hard to tell, but we also could have done a better job, and and we just had to learn from that and improve.
Still a cool experience, I bet, though. Must have been really awesome to be at a World Cup and represent your country.
Yeah, no, yeah, Brazil was really nice. Obviously, representing your country in a World Cup is an unbelievable feeling. Hopefully, I do one day with the seniors and men's national team. But yeah, it's something you got to do in your lifetime. And for a footballer, I think it's one of the best experiences.
Yeah. So is that your last, like, what was your last involvement with the U.S. youth national team?
Yeah, I think it was the World Cup. Then I came back. We played the MLS Cup final. We won that, and then I think I was gonna go into like a U20 camp.
Casual flex. Casual play.
And then we were gonna go into U20 camp, and I think that's when like COVID hit and everything was shut down. So nothing since then.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's been a year now too.
Yeah. COVID, man.
Wait, so did you just say that you were gonna go to the U20 camp, or like were you kind of like in the mix for that U20 camp? Because obviously it got canceled this summer.
Yeah, I was like in the mix to go to the U20 camp. I was in that like pool. So we were gonna have a camp with the U20s just to prepare for like the U20 World Cup. And then obviously COVID hit, and then they had to cancel everything, sadly.
Yeah, must have been disappointing.
Yeah.
So now, but you're still, I mean, obviously you're only 17. You're probably eligible for the next U20 cycle then too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
If it's 2 years from now, you should be, I believe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
19. Yeah.
Nice. So I guess you got that to look forward to. Yeah, didn't totally miss out on the U20 cycle.
Yeah.
So when you were in Brazil, you were like started, like Will said. Who were you paired with or like grouped with in the midfield? Who were you typically starting with?
It was usually me, Adam Saldana from LA Galaxy, and Gianluca as a 10.
Okay.
Yeah. That was kind of like our three.
Yeah.
Where did Gio Reyna play? Was he like a false nine, or did he play on the wing?
He sometimes, I think one game he played false nine, and then like he usually play on the wing. The wing.
All right. Let me ask you this. I mean, you kind of like you play with both of them, but say you're Berhalter and you got to pick like who's starting between Morris and Reyna. Who are you gonna pick?
Assuming everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I can't pick one of them, bro.
I'll answer it for you, Gio Reyna.
Yeah, I think it just depends on who suits the playing style and like who's in better form. So they're obviously both really good players.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Really experienced player. Gio Reyna is a really skillful player. He's starting off. He's having a good career over there at Dortmund. So you can't go wrong. I think either decision is good.
Good though. I mean, that's a good answer. They can't go wrong with either of them.
I think it's a good problem to have a debate.
Yeah, healthy competition. You start one and then you sell on the other one. Super sub.
Yeah.
Or you just put one on the other side. I mean, you got
what?
You got Christian over there.
Yeah, that's a lock. That's a lock.
There's a lot of players, so it's a good problem to have.
It's definitely a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Problem we did not have a couple years ago, but finally.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's good.
So I kind of want, like, why past 2 years Seattle's made it to like the MLS Cup? So why do you think, like, what is going on up there? Like, why have you guys been so good for the past 2 years in your eyes?
Yeah, no, I think it's just like the culture here. I think we have really experienced players like Ladero, Raul Diaz, and like them with the young guys. I think it's a really good group. There's like a lot of healthy competition, and I think it's just the winning mentality the group has to always fight and like fight for like playoffs and always try to make it to playoffs. I think that's a big goal of ours every year. I think obviously the coaching staff has a lot to do with it. They're very experienced. They know how to handle everything. We have a lot of experienced coaches like Schmetzer, Gonzo, Preki, Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy played in the UEFA Champions League final. He won it, and then Gonzo in Mexico. So they're all very experienced players, and I think just having that good group of guys along with the fans is a good culmination of everything as a club. So I think that's what makes us really successful.
Yeah. Off the field, are you guys pretty close knit? Like, do you guys do a lot of things off the field together?
Yeah, we before COVID, obviously we could do more, but yeah, we're pretty close off the field as a group of players. So.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Wait, so you're only 17. Do you live with like a host family, or do you have like a teammate, roommate, or like what's your like living situation like?
I was living with like a home stay family, and then recently I just moved into like a studio to my own place. So
Oh,
Gotcha.
I
nice.
live on my own. Yeah.
So you buy yourself, like, are you in a complex with other teammates, or what's that like for you?
I'm like in a place by myself, but on the second team, there's usually like a complex, like where all the young guys live from the second team, and they're in like apartments. So yeah,
Nice.
but right now I'm all by
Yeah.
myself.
So
So
go for it, Will.
I was just curious, like, what do you do with your free time when you're away from soccer? What kind of fills up a lot of your time?
I'd say kind of a mixture between school. I think that keeps me pretty busy right now. I think it's my last year of high school, so I'm pretty busy with that. I'd say school and just like chilling, watching TV, playing FIFA, and obviously cooking for myself since I'm living on my own. I gotta cook for myself. Yeah, so that takes
Good,
up a lot of my time.
good answer, bro. School. It's all
Yeah,
about the school.
always,
How
always.
Gotta finish it
how
out.
how would you rate your cooking?
I would say at first it was all right, and now I'm getting better.
Yeah,
So my mom really helped me out on that, my dad as well.
yeah. Say
And I
me
think
and
I
Will were
was
coming over, and you were making us dinner. What would you make for us to like kind of blow our socks off?
I would say
Pause.
like Mexican food, probably
Ex-
some carne asada, and then I know how to make chilaquiles. I don't know if you guys have ever had chilaquiles,
I don't
but
think so.
they're kind of like
No.
similar to enchiladas, but
Okay.
like with a different sauce. So those are really good.
What makes the carne asada so good, or is that like a secret family recipe?
I think I don't think it's a secret family recipe, but it's just different, like on how everyone makes it. But I would say like the salsa that you put on it is probably a big part of it, and, like just how you cook it. So getting
That's
better at it.
yeah, that's your go-to though. Mexican food make the most often.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me too. But mine's basic. I just make like quesadillas and tacos.
You
Yeah.
Quesadillas are good, man. You can't go
I
wrong.
make quesadillas for lunch like 3 times a week. So fire. Chicken quesadillas.
So good, so good.
I made chili the other day. It was really good. Like homemade, like all homemade. Bro, it was so good. It looked pretty bad. Like if I showed you a picture, you'd be like, "Oh, what the heck?" But
It looked pretty nasty,
it
honestly.
tasted
The
amazing.
taste is good.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I want to start making my own pizza because like the pizza in California is not that good. I'm used to having like pizza from the East Coast and like in
Yeah.
like the New Jersey, New York area. It's really good. And here it's like just not
It's
as good.
dust.
It's
Straight
not as good.
dust.
Really?
Nah, I can't. I mean, I found like
See,
a place.
Chuck, the thing is though, everybody not from like this area thinks you're a snob when you kind of say the pizza's not as good just because people don't like experience it, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you gotta like live it to really believe it.
yeah. People are like, yeah, how good could it really be? You know, and it's like it's good.
It makes a
Danny.
difference.
It's good.
Pizza.
Is that like similar for you though? Like for Mexican food, like is that Mexican food up in Seattle any good? Like that you get from a restaurant?
I would say it's all right, but I think there's not as much Mexican restaurants here as in like Vegas
Hmm.
or obviously Mexico when I was in Mexico. But
Can you eat at Chipotle or is that like too far gone for you from Mexican authentic
I can,
Mexican?
but I think there's like better options,
Yeah, I totally agree.
more pure Mexican food. But Chipotle is not bad. Fills you up. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I dabble in Chipotle here and there, but I prefer like the real stuff.